in the studio is the gentleman who's you're looking at right now. Have you ever been called a gentleman there before, Heath Hightower?
Not normally.
Not normally. All right. We're going to be talking about the renaissance, if you will, of sundown, stick and stay, as we learn the return of the icon. That's Carly Simon along with Mr. James Taylor here on the New Rue 102. It's 9:06 on this Friday, as we are recording live and local radio along with live and local streaming on this, the July 12th. And the gentleman who is in the studio and who you're looking at is Heath Hightower. And Heath recently purchased the Sundown West Sundown Tavern. And they put out a post on Facebook about employment opportunity. Who wants to come to work? Well, before we get into the specific of that, Heath, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good. Doing great, Rick. I appreciate you having me in this morning. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So there's so many ways to go on this with the Sundown story. I guess go back to, when did that idea, did it come to you or did it come to Lisa? It says, you know what, I think I want to buy that place.
Well, I mean, it probably came to me 20 years ago, like most people who lived in Ruston, and especially people that are in my age bracket. I think at some point you sat in the bar or the restaurant and you said, I would love to own this place. And you probably asked Bruce. He had a line that was miles long of people who said they wanted to buy it when he was done. And so I guess the thought crossed my mind a long time ago. Right. I never thought it would be a reality until sometime here in the last 6 months when the opportunity came up, and I said we could really do this, and then Lisa, my wife, told me it was okay.
All right, so you mentioned a bar or tavern, and restaurant. There was a time when there was just only a bar and it was only beer. Did you cross the threshold when that happened?
I do remember the old bar that was...
which is where the University Inc. is now.
Absolutely. I remember it for sure because I'm born and raised in Ruston, as most people who know me know.
Right.
Can't say that I spent really much time at that establishment. My time...
It's all your parents are listening.
My time at Sundown really got cranking up in the early 90s when Bruce moved it to the current location.
Gotcha.
And that's where I fell in love with the place and have spent a good portion of the last 30 years.
Well, not only that, one more of the past, if you will, on the Mississippi Street Sundown. Did you know who Bruce rented that from, and the gentleman's office right next door? Does the name Jack Ritchie ring a bell?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it does.
All right, so the Sundown gets moved to where it is now on Park, and you are the new proprietors. I'm going to pop up the kitchen scene there. So give us a status report on where you're at and what are we looking at?
Yeah, so we really, honestly, Rick, we took on way more than we expected with the building, and that's, I guess should have been expected, although I can't say that it totally was. But you take ownership of a building that's 100 years old, and there are just a lot of things to do. So it's been a little slower process. We really have just been doing building maintenance, things that have probably needed to be done for years that it's hard to do when you're operating an existing business. So as we've tried to make things better, we've realized, if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. So we've really tried to say, we've taken an approach that said, how can we preserve what's there? When you walk in, Rick, to Sundown, I want you to feel like it's the same place you've always been. But I want improvements, and some of those improvements are things that you can't see every day.
Right.
One of the places that we focused had a main focus on has been the kitchen, and those are the pictures that we kind of rolled out on our Facebook page last week, just kind of letting people know, hey, this is kind of why it's taken so long, and this is what we're doing. And while we want everything to feel the same and we want everything to look the same, we're really doing everything we can to make it a better experience so that we can serve the customer better, we can bring you a quality product to the table every time you come in, and be consistent.
Heath Hightower is our guest here this morning. The Sundown Tavern is the Facebook page. The Sundown Tavern is the Facebook page going forward for all things Sundown, to check it out. My question, is it Sundown West? Is it Sundown Tavern, or
both?
Well,
I think the short answer is it's both.
That's right.
I've had conversations with several people. The sign is hung for many years that said Sundown Tavern, but most of you know if you called down there, Bruce always answered the phone Sundown West. And so I've had several people say, how are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to answer it Sundown Tavern or Sundown West? And I guess it'll depend on what day it is. Moving forward, you'll be able to find us on social media through the Sundown Tavern. Website being built right now that will be the Sundown Tavern. So I guess that's really how you'll find us, but Sundown is something different to everybody.
Sure,
that's what I'm learning now.
It's sure. Iconic.
Absolutely, everybody has a different story about Sundown. So, if your Sundown is Sundown West, then we're still Sundown West, and if your Sundown is Sundown Tavern, then we're Sundown Tavern.
Right. Just as long as you leave and have a good experience, and that's a great thing. Let's give honor where honor is due. I'm putting up Santa Van Zant. And I know Bruce, by the way, if it weren't for him, we wouldn't be here right today talking about Sundown. He's the original owner. I know he's going through some frailty, is the right word? Give us an update on Bruce, and then give us how many times did he cuss you out?
Oh, I know Bruce is kind of having a rough time right now. I know he's been down. And so certainly hope that things are going better for him. But I know it's been a rough time for him. Boy, I've seen lots of things over the years from Bruce. But I got to tell you, when I think I really saw Bruce in a different light. My daughter, who is now 15, we started going to Sundown when she was born. Mm-hmm. And when she was really young, 3, 4, 5, when dads start feeling like they can take their kids out by themselves and not get in too much trouble, Brent and I would go to Sundown every Saturday morning, sit at the bar, eat lunch, read the paper, watch a little ESPN. A lot of times it was, just a few people there early, 11 a.m., and Bruce and my daughter became friends. And it was just all of a sudden I saw this whole different side of Bruce that I'd never seen before. Because he was always the guy behind the bar with the baseball bat that was going to keep everything in line. And all of a sudden he's giving my daughter cookies every time we walk in. She's asking me when we can go see Mr. Bruce. She's running up to him in the grocery store and talking to him. We'd run into him because he was there every day. And just all of a sudden you realize, hey, there's actually kind of and he would get mad if he heard me say this,
I know.
a tender side to Bruce.
Well, and did you know he's a Vietnam combat veteran? And for those that don't know him and have only heard stories about him, yes, salty would be one way to describe it. And he really had a loud bark, and you just described that there was a heart in the bark there as well. But this Vietnam combat vet, by the way, I and Jill Stewart were one of the first ones to make sandwiches at Sundown in 1987, 88-ish. I'm thinking that when that happened. But when Bruce decided to get involved and had the meat cutter there, and if he cut any side of blood, this Marine combat vet would go down on his knee and he would turn white. And it's like, dude, I thought you were rough. Anyway, but I saw that side of him. All right, so Heath Hightower, our guest here this morning, Sundown. I know everybody's asking this question, and you'll open when it's the right time, but what's the target date?
Yeah, the short answer is I wish I could tell you we were opening tomorrow because I am ready, not physically with the grounds, but me personally, I'm ready to get this thing rolling. My target is that we're 30 days out.
Sure.
Could that be 35? Could it be 40? Sure. But we're close. What we want to make sure is that when we do open, we're ready, we're prepared, we've got things in the right state. And so we don't want to rush it, yet we're certainly ready to do it. So we're hoping sometime early to mid-August we'll be able to turn the light on quietly and start serving sandwiches.
All right, a couple of other items of note, and if there's anything you want to say, please surface it. I've been hearing the rumors you're going to be trying to restore the menus as people remember them and always be open. Obviously, you got to respect the past, but grow into the future and have maybe new items. But I guess the turkey melt's a must.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're going to do, and I'm glad you asked that question, Rick, because that's certainly a message that I want to get to everyone out in the community. We will start very slow. So we are going to start with staple items on the menu. That means, we'll open with a turkey melt for sure. We'll open with a hot roast beef. We'll open with a burger. But that may be it. That may be as far as we go, other than a couple of side items to open the doors. Eventually, we're going to grow into all of those things that you've enjoyed at Sundown over the years.
Right.
Chicken nachos, they're coming, but they're probably not coming on day one. The reason that we want to do that is, we want to make sure that we can do it right. I'm hopeful that we get a big turnout, and what we don't want is anyone to leave there unhappy. So I would rather come out to your table and explain to you, I don't have everything that we used to offer here yet. We're coming back. Let me get this right. Let me get the turkey melt right. Let me get you in and out of here at lunch in a reasonable time period. And when we're comfortable that we're doing that, we're doing it well, and people say this is really good, then we add the next item. And from there, absolutely, there'll be opportunity to grow into things that we've never had before at Sundown. But it's important to me, and it's been very important in this process to keep Sundown like people remember Sundown.
Right. All right, so I'm flashing up here because we briefly got reacquainted when you walked in the studio. Here's a band, and Sundown has been notorious for a musical venue in north central Louisiana. That's the Howard Shaft Band, and in there is Johnny Cimino. So that's a lead-in for you to talk about music coming back and talk about that. That's always an element of Sundown, right?
Yes, absolutely, and we definitely want to bring that back as we revive things there. I've already been contacted by some musicians that are ready to play now.
They're paying you to play, right? Isn't that how it works?
Well, we haven't gotten that far yet, but they're certainly looking for a spot. So I've gotten several calls saying, can I play in July? Can I play in August?
Right.
And I said, I'm not ready yet, but we're going to be ready. So that is definitely something that we are going to bring back, live music for sure. And that we'll start slow and grow with that as well. May not be a weekly occurrence, maybe a monthly occurrence, may turn into a weekly occurrence. We'll take it step by step, but we absolutely want to be a music venue in town.
All right, to that point as well, I think I just popped this piece of information on you. The Ruston, Northeast Louisiana Music Trail, Doyle Jeter, he approached me 2 weeks ago and wants to, because Lincoln Parish is not on the music trail. It's all over from Tensaw Parish to Morehouse Parish, Franklin Parish, and Washita, etc. Well, he wants to put on, because in Monroe they saluted the Monroe Civic Center. Well, Ruston didn't have that, but we have a rich musical heritage, and this musical marker, Sundown West, who wants to be on the first, we've already talked with the mayor to get it at Railroad Park, and it would have Sundown West, Dixie Theater, KRUS Studios, as well as Railroad Park. And so that's how much of an icon Sundown West has not only been for food, you haven't brought up libations yet, but also for music. So that's a plus. And did you know when you bought the building that KRUS used to be upstairs?
I didn't specifically know that. I actually, I've learned so much in the last several months of what was upstairs, who's been in there, and just all the people that have got a piece and helped really make that building what it is. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe the days that I've been in just trying to clean up and straighten up, and the door swings open and I learn something new because someone's coming in to see what we're doing and they want to tell their story, and that's the really cool thing about this. I mean, this is such a part of
its history.
It is. It's such a part of the Ruston community, and that's why I told my wife when we decided to do this, I was like, we don't have a huge restaurant background. I'm not a musician, although my brother is. I don't have, but I think we fit the suit. And what I mean by that is we're local people. I'm from Ruston, This is a place that people want to see reopen.
That's right.
And they want to see it. They want to see it continue on like it has been, with, like you said, with some growth and some improvement, but holding on to the nostalgia that's there. And I think we're the people that do that.
All right, so what precipitated this interview and opportunity was now you're putting out the call to find help wanted. So give us a litany or a list of what are you looking for?
Sure. We're looking for all positions, which is that's going to be kitchen staff, that'll be servers, bartenders. Really would be our three sections of work in the establishment. We're looking for all of those. I have applications at sundown. I wanted to let everybody know I am in and out of there all day. So I have applications on the counter. I'm actually going to post some on the door today in an envelope, just so if I'm not there, you can pick one up and bring it back. I'm there every day. Every day I'm there a little bit more, but sometimes I get an opportunity to do something cool, like come on Rick's radio show. And so I'm certainly going to take that opportunity. So if you come by and I'm not there, please don't be discouraged. There's usually someone there inside doing some sort of work. You can pick up an application from the counter, or like I said, I'll have some posted in an envelope on the front door. Pick one up, bring it back. It's not impossible to find me. Like I said, I'm there every day, and if I'm not there, there'll be a spot for you to leave the application to. I promise you I'll review it and get back to you.
Well, we need to have a reunion party. You know, people are doing that for high school, 50th reunion, 40th reunion of former employees, and I'm one, and my daughters are one, so we got multi-generations here. Maybe, anyway, there's a whole lot of creative opportunity here. Folks, another way you can reach Heath is The Sundown Tavern is the Facebook page. The Sundown Tavern, the Facebook page. Is there anything else we didn't kind of cover on? Because I'm going to play A-Train again. Was that the first time you heard A-Train out of Shreveport give a salute to Sundown in 1978?
That's the first time I've heard that song for sure, Rick, but I like it. We'll play it again when we open up, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, and I know Buddy and Bruce Flat, you're going to get a whole host of musicians, you know, that, like, remember, we just touched on the Johnny Cimino Jam. I'd like to be a part. I would talk with Ken about maybe resurrecting that
yes.
and at the museum in a micro way, because I know it was huge when it was at Sundown. It raised so much money.
Absolutely, and I've been approached about that. Those kind of things we want to bring back. We're open to all the great things that Sundown has done in the community, and we're open to new things. So
Amen.
I've had such a can't tell you how much support I've gotten locally in the last several months from people who just, as I mentioned, just stop in and say, what can I do? I want to help bring this back. I'm behind you. We're going to support you. We're going to be here. And that's really ultimately why we wanted to do this, because we live in a great community. Ruston is a great community. It's super supportive. And I can't thank everyone enough for the support you've given me to this point. Be patient with me. It's coming. We're going to open those doors, and we're going to learn as we open. So be patient with me even as we open the door. But know that we're going to do everything we can to bring you the best experience possible.
I know that. Well, Heath Hightower, thanks so much. Let us know what we can do to help you be part of all things local. And there's a lot of good things going on. And we just want to get the word out so people will get out and get involved. So thanks for what you do.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate you having me this morning.
Here you go. This is A-Train out of Shreveport, and that train singing about Louisiana right here at the New Rue 102. All right, hang on. All right, there you have it. We'll kill the stream. He did really good, didn't he?